There's a lot of people in Houston that's still dealing with the aftermath of all the rain and flooding from Tropical Storm Harvey. Well, you have a lot of people in shelters in the George R. Brown Convention Center. Many churches have opened up. They're also talking about opening up NRG Center at actually 10 p.m. This evening. They have curfews all over the place. But they have a CNN reporter that was talking to a sister that endured a whole lot of hell before she got to a shelter. And I want to show you this particular clip.
Let me introduce you to Danielle here. Danielle, you just arrived. Share with us how you were rescued.
Some guys had called our phone and asked us where we were because we was waiting for police for like 36 hours and they never came. And we was waiting at the home. We did the white flags and everything and nobody came. But then somebody had called the phone after we decided to leave the house and we had walked to the gas station with the kids. And then they had called and came and picked us up. But we had been there like 5 days with no food and no lights and nobody came. Like nobody came.
Now you're with your children. We've heard of stories of mothers trying to save their children from the rushing waters. Can you tell us how that was?
4 feet of water to go get them food on the first day. Yeah, that's a lot of shit. But y'all sitting here, y'all trying to interview people during their worst times. Like, that's not the smartest thing to do. Like, people are really breaking down and y'all sitting here with cameras and microphones trying to ask us what the fuck is wrong with us.
So I'm so
and
sorry.
You're really trying to understand it with the microphone still in my face, with me shivering cold, with my kids wet, and you still putting the microphone in my face.
Before we get started with the commentary, we want to reach out to our supporters to help us reach our 3,000 patron goal on Patreon for a minimum of $2 to $5 per month. As of right now, we have 1,659 as the amount of people who are helping us to continue the show to keep going, because it wouldn't be for those people, these videos would not be produced, because YouTube has cut the revenue by 90%, and it takes revenue to operate the show. We lost people that we needed to help us with the show, to cut down my time on producing content and doing other things. So we must hit that goal. I thank every person who has joined us on Patreon. It wouldn't be for you, this would not be happening. Now, this particular sister is the representation of the pain and suffering that's happened to a lot of people in Houston. As you heard, she was stuck for days with small children, no food, wet, cold, and no one out there to come get them. I have been getting reports from people stating that some people were being passed over for others. And I have been reaching out to other people to say, hey, what's going on? Because, and let's talk about me, for instance. Where I am located, I can't move around too much because a lot of the roads are cut off or flooded out. So if I could move around, at least from the area that I am at right now, I would have been all over the place trying to show you guys extra footage and talking to people and see what we can do. But with this situation, this sister have every right to express herself. And that's why I wanted to make sure to find the full context of what she was saying, because the first clip that I saw, they just showed her going off, but didn't show how she was explaining herself and what she went through. Now, some people, they have a good spirit about it, but then some people like her with small children, you have to understand that point of view. When you lose everything in one fell swoop, and this water just rush into your home, and you was not told to evacuate, you was not told that this storm was going to be this bad the way it was. As a parent, I would have been just as frustrated as this woman was frustrated, because if you wet, cold, no food, no lights, don't know what's going on in that flood water, you can have snakes, you can have alligators, you can have spiders, ants moving whole colonies in flood waters, and if they attach to you, they're going to start eating you up. I mean, so obviously this woman was frustrated and angry, and I feel that pain. And yes, I wanted to, if I could, got out there, but as the roads are cut off, at least in my area, I would think twice about asking people questions at that moment. Maybe wait a little bit, maybe a few days after the waters reside, and people kind of in a little bit different spirit, because when a person just came in and been in that kind of situation, yes, they're just a little bit frustrated. And the frustration that she has is just not her, but it's all over the place, because the frustration should be on the city council. The frustration should be on the mayor too, because for him to say that, well, I don't want to put 6.5 million people on the road, then that's a messed up thing to really say, because you put all these people in a bad situation. Now, it was a way to evacuate this area where you don't cause 6.5 million people on the road. It's simple. You do it by zip code like they did before and say, okay, this many zip codes today, you evacuate. All right, this zip code, you evacuate that day. You do it in succession. And if you did the evacuations based off a zip code and made sure that if you knew someone was going to come along, got with the refineries, got with the gas stations, got with everybody, and to coordinate that into a concise effort, it would have went smoothly and efficiently. But if you have the mindset, oh, if I just say, hey, everybody evacuate, and everybody just get on the road, and yes, we will see what happened with the Hurricane Rita situation way back in 2005, when you had people on Beltway 8 for 18 to 24 hours and people dying in the cars. I know about that situation, and luckily for me, I didn't get caught in that. I left the day before, and I was on the road about 7 hours instead of like some people being on the road 24 hours. It's a way to do things, and saying that you don't want to put people on the road like that, that's not really a good excuse. Not at all. It doesn't make common sense. If you have to get people out, you have to get people out and coordinate that sort of thing, so you won't have this many people being caught in a dangerous situation. I watched a press conference from the police chief, and they were speaking about the curfew, and they were saying that they caught people robbing people, looting, and that's why they came up with the curfew, because too many people away from their homes, and they want to take advantage of that. And the one thing I can't stand about those kind of people, looters and thugs, is that you want to be the lowest of the low and take advantage, go out and get a job, do something with yourself, stop trying to steal from people. You had some of them that I heard got caught at GameStop, robbing GameStop. Like, what you gonna do if you don't have no lights? But some of these people come from out of town. Some of them live in town, but they just nothing but two-bit thugs. And if you break into somebody's home, I hope you get a comeuppance. That's just how I feel about that. But there's a lot of people here that's going to need help. And when it comes to us, and you know, some people ask, well, what are we gonna do? I have behind the scenes, I've been coordinating with two different people that's going to do different things. One of them have told me what they want to do. I have Brother Derek as well is going to coordinate something. In between Brother Derek and the other person, I want to put something together to make sure that these people get help. Now, I'm the news guy, and I would definitely try to do much as possible, and I'll reach out to you guys to help us be a part of helping the people here in Houston. But before I present anything to you, I wanted to make sure who the people were we was going to partner with, and also the process on how the people are going to be helped, because I wanted to make sure the right people are helped, and that's just organization that I believe in. So this is what we plan to do here. So that's why I told people on Twitter, if you follow me there, we will announce what we want to do in the next coming days. So make sure to keep on the lookout for that when we present that to everyone. But this sister and how she feel is a representation of a whole lot of people, because it's just sad what happened. It's a natural disaster, but we'll get through it. If you have your life and if you still have your kids and everything, then you can rebuild. Materials can be replaced, because a life cannot be replaced. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Share the video, like the commentary, and subscribe for more news stories.